So let's say you're moving to Joliet, Illinois, and in this very situation actually caused you to buy a home, your new home, sight unseen. And you're excited. You finally get to Joliet, you finally get to pull up to your new home, you finally drive around your new neighborhood, and you realize very, very quickly you bought in the wrong neighborhood. Well, you know how the song goes. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. You should have watched my video. In this very video, what I'll be covering are the top 5 best neighborhoods and best subdivisions right here in the beautiful city of Joliet, Illinois. So if this is your first time visiting my channel, I want to say welcome to my page, Living in Joliet, where I cover all things from living, eating, breathing, playing right here in the beautiful city of Joliet. So you're going to want to make sure you stick around. So do yourself a favor, bang that notification bell, hit that subscribe button so that you're notified of any and all future videos I do make, as I try and strive my best to make one every single week covering this great city of Joliet, Illinois. And as always, guys, Gregory Amos, Remax Ultimate Professionals, and the response that I've been getting from these videos has just been amazing, as I get tons of calls, tons of text messages, tons of emails from individuals all over looking and actually planning to relocate right here to Joliet, Illinois, and the Joliet, Illinois area when we talk about Sherwood, Plainfield, among many, many others. So without further ado, we're gonna get right into this video. Top five neighborhoods and subdivisions right here in good old Joliet, Illinois. So let's get this thing started off right. Coming in at number 5 on the best neighborhoods and subdivisions to live right here in the beautiful city of Joliet. We're going to start off in a smaller subdivision. This subdivision holds no more than maybe 40-50 homes, but they're all beautiful, beautiful, beautiful homes. And the location here is just great. We're talking about the Sanctuary. First things first about the Sanctuary. The Sanctuary is a place here in Joliet located right there off Black Road. And there's 2 entrances to the Sanctuary. There's one there, again, right off Black Road, and also right off Essington Road here in Joliet, Illinois. The thing about the Sanctuary is that the Sanctuary is exactly that. The Sanctuary is the spot to be if you're looking for a nice, peaceful, serene location, and also a home. So let's say if you're a little bit older in life and you're actually looking to downsize from, let's say, a beautiful estate that you have, the Sanctuary is a place where you can downsize but still get you a great home with a lot of square feet where you can actually maneuver and also entertain some guests and some friends and also family right here in Sanctuary, excuse me. The homes here in the Sanctuary, in terms of square feet, they usually range between 1,700 square feet pushing up towards 3,000 and a little bit above 3,000 square feet. A lot of the homes here give that ranch style type of vibe, but you still do have homes that have 2 stories, and a lot of homes either have a partial or a full basement inside of a lot of these homes. If you hear the wind in the background, here in the area we just experienced maybe a few inches of snow, and you can definitely see that inside of the backdrop a little bit there. But again, the Sanctuary is a great place. It's a place that holds 3 man-made lakes. I can't show them to you right now simply because it has a blanket of snow over them. But again, I'm telling you, Sanctuary is a very peaceful, very serene place and location. And a lot of the homes here, when I talk about the 2-story homes, you can see one, well, not one right there, but if you can see the back of that home there, you can see how that looks very nice. And that one's on that lakefront, so that's a lakefront type of home right next to one of the lakes that's in the backyard here located in the Sanctuary. But overall, again, Sanctuary is a very nice vibe. A lot of the windows here are like that floor to ceiling vibe inside of the kitchen. Again, about 1,500 to about 3,000 square feet. And again, very, very peaceful. And the location of the Sanctuary gives you great access to, if you're headed towards Sherwood, if you're headed towards that Plainfield area, you can get right there off Black Road. If you're headed towards some daily shopping, Essington Road will get you straight there. So One thing I have to say about Joliet and the best neighborhoods in Joliet, there's a lot of neighborhoods that are very, very nice inside the city that I could damn near put on this list. But I'm biased over the Sanctuary. It's a very, very nice location, very, very nice area. And I love the fact that literally the Sanctuary is in a square with a few cul-de-sacs actually built into it. So there's not a lot of traffic. And I'm sure you'll grow to learn mostly every car that enters and exits, which actually adds to a lot of peace of mind when you're actually picking a home to actually stay in. Another thing about the Sanctuary, homes here barely, if ever, turn over. So if you ever see one actually pop on the market and you're fortunate enough to actually be in the market when the Sanctuary turns over or when a for sale sign pops in the yard, you definitely at least want to go to that open house, ask a few questions, and if not, put a competitive offer on the Sanctuary. Homes here range in between the high 2s, the 3s, and some even pushing to the 4s. And for a very good reason. The Sanctuary is definitely a paradise location here in the Joliet, Illinois area. So guys, you got it right there. Sanctuary, awesome place, awesome location, awesome vibe, being that it's so peaceful. Coming in at number 4 on the best neighborhood subdivisions here to live in Joliet, Illinois. First things first, I had to get something on the east side of Joliet, simply because the east side can definitely get overlooked. And this I also consider like the far east side, like right next to New Lenox. And I'm not gonna lie, if you were to buy a home here in this subdivision, a lot of the residents say, "Oh, I live in New Lenox." No, you live in Joliet. You got a Joliet address. You got a Joliet mail address. You're getting serviced by Joliet Water, Joliet Police, and all the essential services here in Joliet. So you live in Joliet. But we're going to talk about Neufarfield. Yes, Neufarfield, Joliet, Illinois. It is west on Grauger, going down Grauger, right there on Maple Boulevard. Okay, Neufarfield is a newer built subdivision built in 2004, coming all the way up until like 2012, and it was built by D.R. Horton Homes. If you know anything about D.R. Horton, D.R. Horton is one of the biggest name brand builders in our area, and they do a really good job supplying our market, really the suburbs of Chicago, with great homes. Now your first thoughts when you're driving through Neufarfield, hey, you're going to see a lot of spec homes, a lot of homes that look the same, got that cookie cutter feel to it, but you won't really appreciate a lot of these homes until you actually step inside of them and really see the variety of floor plans that's actually offered here in the beautiful Neufarfield. Neufarfield is a great location, especially a family-friendly environment right here with an awesome park, a few lakes where you can take the kids, enjoy the sunset. It's just a serene feel and vibe actually living here in Neufarfield. Another thing about Neufarfield, again, going on Grauger Road, being that you are on the east side of Grauger, you're in Joliet. On the west side of Grauger, it's New Lenox, but Grauger, when you go down that road, has a lot of very nice neighborhoods right there on Grauger. So you're in a great location, being that you're minutes away from I-80. Being that you're minutes away from I-80, if you're a commuter to other areas in the southwest suburbs or the city of Chicago, you get to bypass all of that, jump on I-80, and definitely in terms of peace of mind, when driving to and from work, you're right off the highway, you can go right home. Being that you're near New Lenox, you can go right on Lincoln Way Highway, and then go to Walmart, go to all your essential services. They're provided right down the street. A little bit about Neufarfield though. Again, a variety of floor plans as you actually step inside of some of these great homes and product that D.R. Horton actually put on the market. No less than 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, or 2.5 bedrooms is really the standard here. Up to 4 beds. Oh yeah, up to 4 bedrooms, some 5 bedrooms. The average price point here in Neufarfield is anywhere between the high 2s and also the low to mid 4s. Okay, the high 2s. Neufarfield is actually home to a few beautiful townhomes too as well. So that's where you're gonna find those high 2s. You're gonna find those high 4s, and some of the homes that have a little bit more square footage, a little bit more amenities, cosmetically inside the house. But again, I really love Neufarfield. There's actually a walking trail right next to Neufarfield, and also a golf course too. So a lot of local amenities. You don't have to go too far to actually enjoy life. Again, a very great, serene atmosphere. You're close to some fine high schools and fine schools, being that you have Providence Catholic right up the street, which is one of the most competitive programs in terms of academics, but also athletics too, when we think about baseball and football too. So very storied program right there, right up the street. And that kind of wraps up a little bit about Neufarfield, and it comes in at number 4 on the best places to live right here in Joliet. So coming in at number 3 on our list of best neighborhoods here in the beautiful Joliet, Illinois city. You're in for a treat right here. We're going to talk about the Timber Estates. That's exactly right. Now, before I start, I want to let you know the Timber Estates is a really good neighborhood, but it's a neighborhood that will and can compete with any neighborhood here in the southwest suburbs areas. When you think about Naperville, when you think about a Bolingbrook, when you think about a Wheaton, maybe even a Aurora, the Timber Estates, I can bet my bottom dollar, my last dollar, that and when you put this neighborhood up against any type of competitor or any type of neighborhood, this neighborhood will definitely stand out. Now, the Timber Estates is a neighborhood that was built in the mid 70s upwards towards the 90s and continually being built on as today. The thing that makes the Timber Estate stand out is that it's architectural styles. It's a lot of variety in terms of what a potential buyer can actually choose to buy. So let's say for some reason, some odd reason, every home in this neighborhood was to be on the market at the same time, the buyer will have trouble actually choosing which home that they actually want to buy and actually call home, because there's just a lot of variety actually. So shout out to whoever the architecture was. He was very well known at the time, or the gal was very well known at the time. But I tell you what, that architect was in their fucking bag when they designed this beautiful neighborhood here in Joliet, Illinois. I'm telling you, a lot of the styles definitely reflect the styles that were very popular here, were very popular during that era. And I want to say shout out to them too, because they didn't choose the route to make a cookie cutter version and try to just focus on quantity, but it's true quality with these homes. So this neighborhood boasts amazing charm, amazing appeal, amazing curb appeal. So if you're an individual who loves that about a specific home and knows that, hey, my home stands out, you're gonna find that right here in the Timber Estates. So the neighborhood here in the Timber Estates is very, very peaceful. It's kind of located, it gives you the vibe, and I'm glad I'm shooting this video when there's some snow outside, because when you're driving down here in the winter, you get you a few inches of snow, it's going to feel like a winter wonderland. When you're driving down here in the summertime with all the leaves, it's going to look crazy beautiful. When you're in the fall, the leaves changing colors, it's going to give you a feeling that, hey, oh man, this is home. It's the fall, it's the best time of the year, at least for myself. And the Timber Estates definitely gives you that. So amazing charm all around, from the nature, from the real estate, and also just a very, very peaceful neighborhood with amazing neighbors. One thing about the Timber Estates that I gotta add is that a lot of these homes actually are on, at minimum, an acre of land. So if you're an individual who loves to be on some land, you can find that here. Me spending some time in the Missouri area, a lot of the homes, it's easy to find land in a home that you can either build or that rests on a specific piece of big land, like an acre, 2 acres, 3 acres. Even though it's only an acre, you will appreciate that really, really quickly, because you can go outside, you can do things that you can't do on a 1/4 acre lot. want something a little bit smaller. So that's actually possible right here inside the timber estates. So the price point for a lot of the homes here in the timber estates, and there's actually some on the market as of the date of this video, they're going to go as low as $400K upwards towards $750,000, if not pushing up towards that $1 million price point. So when you buy a home here in the timber estates, it's a very well maintained community. The owners here definitely take pride inside their homes for very good reason. It's a great home or a great neighborhood that boasts terrific appreciation rates. So you can know that your investment and also the time that you spend inside of the specific estate or home is going to be protected over the long haul and actually be a great hedge from inflation when you actually look to actually buy inside this area. The location is right off Black Road, right next to the Joliet Public Library that's located on the Black Road. And I'm telling you, it's just amazing. So again, a shout out to the architects that actually designed a lot of these homes. They were in their bag and they did not play around. They took their time, and shout out to the builders too to execute on the architect's vision for a lot of these homes here. What else can I talk about the timber estates? The average square foot for a lot of these homes on the low end, 3,000 square feet, pushing up towards the high 6,000 square feet, somewhere between that 7,000 range. So you can just imagine that's a lot of space for you to cultivate a nice peace, a nice vibe inside your home. And also, again, great for entertainment, where I'm sure you can create you a life in which you don't even have to go outside for any type of entertainment. I'm telling you that. Being that it's in a tree-lined community, I'm an individual that loves being in the trees, so a nice peaceful walk, you can definitely get that nice air quality is here. Whatever you can think of, the timber estates definitely offers that. This would definitely be a lot higher on my list, maybe 2, maybe 1, if it wasn't for what I'm gonna show you for 211. But the timber estates, hey, you can't beat it. It's definitely one of those neighborhoods in which you want to actually aspire to actually live inside of here, just because the overall character here inside of the timber estates. So I definitely touched on what I could touch on, but I'm telling you, it's one of those neighborhoods in which, again, me walking around it doesn't do no justice, and actually, well, no justice to the true beauty that this specific neighborhood here in Joliet, Illinois actually gives. So if you're ever in the area, if you're ever house shopping, you definitely want to stop by and do a drive-through here inside the timber estates here inside the Joliet, Illinois area. So that wraps up number 3. We're going to push forward to number 2. Woo! So guys, the reason I'm screaming like that is for 2 reasons. 1, it's cold as shit out here. Number 2, you thought you'd seen some stuff, you haven't seen nothing until you've seen this neighborhood located in Joliet, Illinois. If you're a type of individual who's wondering and has questions on whether Joliet has something for the affluent, has something for individuals that really appreciate and need, it's a must-have to be exposed to the finer things in life. If you're an individual who's wondering if Joliet has some badass real estate, badass estates, badass homes, here in Wooded Creek has just that for that specific type of buyer. I'm telling you, Wooded Creek, located on the west side of Joliet, as you push into the far west side of Joliet, when we talk about Sherwood or Joliet or Plainfield or Jolifield, it's right there, located right before, again, you push over that viaduct on Black Road. But the homes and the estates here in Wooded Creek are just that. It's amazing. I'm telling you, it's insane. It's wild, just the quality of home and the craftsmanship of some of these homes and estates here. Wooded Creek hosts a wide variety of real estate and homes. When you talk about executive ranches, you're talking about waterfront properties, you're talking about properties with great, nice size in-ground pools inside of those. Wooded Creek has just that. And plus, one thing I like about Wooded Creek, has a few lots actually on the market too, so you can actually build you a comparable home and add your own flavor and style to it. So Wooded Creek is just that. When we talk about the price point of some of these homes right here in Wooded Creek, on the low end, If you can find you a home here in Wooded Creek for $450,000, that's a steal. That's the lowest it's gonna go. It's gonna push all the way up into the $1 million plus price point here inside of Wooded Creek. It's a subdivision or a neighborhood that has 2 main streets. I'm on the main street that's kind of open to the public. The other main street is kind of gated, that's open to guests and residents. So if you definitely appreciate some privacy, you can definitely get that on the other side of Wooded Creek when we point right over there. We're gonna touch on that right now. But I'm telling you, some of the estates here are just badass. If you're from the Black community, you'll describe some of these estates as, man, these estates, these homes are just raw as fuck. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Just look at some of the back of some of these homes here. Right there, it's a lake, again, has a good blanket of snow on top of those, so you can't really appreciate the beauty of them. But I'm telling you, Wooded Creek is definitely that spot for the affluent individual, for the business owner that has worked their face to the ground, for that individual who needs some of the finer things of life. Wooded Creek definitely offers that, and Joliet definitely has homes and also price points that actually tends to the affluent individual. So Wooded Creek, definitely number 2 on our list. It will be number 1 if it wasn't for number 1 just being a great place, great community, and a great neighborhood that tends to Joliet in total. But I'm telling you, Wooded Creek is definitely a spot where you want to be. Wooded Creek is definitely a spot that caters to a lot. It has a lot of amenities. One thing that Wooded Creek also has is has a trail that's very, very nearby. Joliet is home to a lot of trails where you can either bike, walk, get some steps in, and keep that cardio up. And it's really right next to this subdivision right here in Wooded Creek. So I'm telling you guys, Wooded Creek is one of those ones when you think about a neighborhood that has just overall very, very nice estates, great neighbors. It's something definitely to aspire to. And if you're an individual who's looking to spend a bag on a home, that has a bag on a home, and you're relocating to Joliet, Wooded Creek is definitely that spot that has to be on your short list of homes or neighborhoods in which you want to move and live in. So guys, listen, it's been amazing that you guys stayed the entire video. I'm not gonna waste no time when we talk about the number 1 area, subdivision, neighborhood to live here in Joliet. We're gonna talk about the historic, the beautiful, the ever more charming Cathedral area, or the Upper Bluff, located right here in Joliet. The Cathedral area is on the west side, the central west side. I'm talking about the original west side of Joliet before so much growth and building kind of happened towards the farther west side of Joliet. But I'm telling you, the Cathedral area lands number 1 on this list, and I'm going to try to delve into as many reasons as to why it is number 1 on this list here in Joliet. First things first is just the overall historic charm of the Cathedral area. If you're an individual that always wanted to live in a piece of history, you're going to find that right here in the Cathedral area. A lot of these homes date back to the early 19th, 18th century here in Joliet, Illinois. As you can see in the backdrop, a lot of these homes are just so beautiful. I gotta have my notes when I'm talking about the Cathedral area because I don't want to miss nothing. But it's a green tree line community. A lot of the trees here are very, very established, and it's just an overall vibe actually living right here in the inside of the Cathedral area. Being that you have such an amazing historic charm, it hosts and boasts a variety. I'm talking about numbers of different architectural styles and flavors here in the Cathedral area. Reading from my list, you got from the Dutch colonial revival, the Tudor revival, an Italian knot, the free classical, Queen Anne shingle style, and also the neoclassical, just to name a few. So when we think about just what the Cathedral area actually offers in terms of architecture and also the styles that dates back and was popular towards the 18th to 19th century. Right here in the Cathedral area, you're going to be awed with just how beautiful and how well maintained just some of these homes are. A lot of these homes, the Cathedral area is just home to, man, a lot of badass looking historic homes. And shout out to a lot of the owners here, because they definitely take pride in owning a piece of history and do a good job with maintaining some of these older homes. As we know, older homes can be an expense in itself to actually maintain them. But hey, that's no worry for a lot of these owners, as it may be a privilege to a lot of them to maintain such an historic home. Another reason why the Cathedral area is number one on my list is because, man, the Cathedral area goes all out on a year-to-year basis when we talk about tradition here in the area, but also Joliet. One of the things I want to touch on is the annual Halloween tradition here in the Cathedral area. If you haven't seen Halloween or you haven't had fun on Halloween, the Cathedral area is going to make you come outside and experience not only the Cathedral area, but the true overall community here inside of Joliet. Because during Halloween, the residents here in the Cathedral area, particularly on Western Avenue, they spare no damn expense when throwing their annual Halloween festivals. If you are an individual that has a small family, it's one of those events where your kids are like, okay, we can trick or treat in this neighborhood, but let's make sure we go down to where we were at last year or down to the Cathedral area, because that was fun. The owners here, again, spare no expense when throwing Halloween tradition, whether it's the DIY haunted houses, the decorations, and the overall vibe and time and effort that they put into making sure that these kids have experiences and memories that's going to last them a lifetime. And also, the residents here, when they throw Halloween, very, very competitive. It's one of those types where the neighbors probably come out and be like, you know what, you guys did your thing this year, but wait till, I see what you guys did, wait till next year. We're gonna get you next year. It's a lot of fun, and it's something that you do not wanna miss. And I'm telling you, another annual tradition here is the annual house walk put on by the Cathedral Area Preservation Association, who has just an amazing marketing director who works really hard. One of those things is the annual house walk, where you can actually walk up to 5 properties for $25 and really experience the stories, the individuals who are part of Joliet's past that was true pioneers that made this area what it is. Another tradition, on top of that, you get the Speakeasy Walk too, where you can actually tour additional homes at the cost of $45, where you're going to be served a signature cocktail, a beer, a wine, some type of beverage, alcoholic beverage, so that you can begin to really enjoy and appreciate additional home tours across the Cathedral area. These drivers are letting me walk by. It's pretty busy today. We're on Western Avenue. But I'm telling you, those two events on an annual basis definitely cultivates community, a sense of pride of what it means to live here in Joliet. About the Cathedral area, it's home to the University of St. Francis, and also you've probably seen on other videos, it has a nice big old Catholic church too, which is just beautiful too when we think about adding to the variety here in the Joliet, Illinois area. When we talk about the specific real estate here in the Cathedral area, the median sales price here is only $260,000. And again, a lot of these homes are historic. So imagine you get to own a piece of history for a median price of $260,000. Of course, it's an older home. It may need a little bit of work, but you get the benefit off of tax credits that comes with owning an historic home. but also enjoy living in and actually updating, putting that sweat equity into it to make it your own home. Enjoy living in it for 5, 10, however many years, and then put it on the market for another family to enjoy too as well. So that's another plus and another positive of owning here in the Cathedral area. Now, median sales price of $260 is not bad at all, but I'm telling you, the homes that are of historic nature, are very well maintained, definitely push a little bit or a lot more higher than the median sales price of $260,000. So about $150 per foot to actually own a piece of history here in the Joliet, Illinois area is just amazing. There's more and more I can really just talk about the Cathedral area, but I want you to just kind of appreciate just some of the homes, some of the styles, some of the flavors that you've been seeing behind me. Cathedral area is a vibe. Comes in at number 1 on my list of things, list of places to actually live here in Joliet, Illinois. And as always, guys, it's been a pleasure. So guys, it's been awesome. I'm finally back inside the office, finally able to defrost completely from that cold weather outside of those doors. But listen, it's been my pleasure showing you my top 5 areas, subdivisions, and neighborhoods right here in Joliet, Illinois. Again, we touched on the Sanctuary, Neufarfield, Wooded Creek, Timber Estates, and also the great Cathedral area right here in Joliet, Illinois. Again, Joliet, being the 3rd biggest city here in the state of Illinois, has tons and tons of neighborhoods, subdivisions that I left off the list. So if you're watching this, comment below which ones have I missed out, which ones maybe you want a video on in the future. And as always, it's been Gregory Amos, RE/MAX Ultimate Professionals. I get tons of calls, tons of emails, tons of text messages from individuals from all over actually looking to plan and relocate right here to Joliet, Illinois. I just got off the phone with a client who's actually relocating to Joliet in about 2 months. He's in Seattle, Washington right now, looking to buy a nice home here in the Joliet area. So I can't wait to see what we find him and get him inside of. And I can't wait to actually speak to you too as well. So feel more than welcome to reach out. Let's keep it going. I love it. And we're going to make sure we keep this thing going. So as always, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, bang that notification bell so that you're notified of any and all future videos I do make, as I try my damn best to make one every single week so that you have the information and the education to make sure you know you're making the right move so you can make the most out of your Joliet life right here, again, inside the Joliet, Illinois area. Until next time, guys, Gregory Amos. We'll talk more soon.